Pretty boy, James Harden. Aiming at your boy.
What's good with you, Team Tommy? My bad, I gotta put on some deodorant, no kids. Bro, it's getting hot. It's getting hot in Ohio. It's finna be summertime. Yeah, you guys just see my bed in the background. It's a little high rise. It's a little high. I'm not about to give y'all a tour of my bed, but like today we got the greatest story ever told between Michael Jordan and yeah, the best Larry Bird versus Michael Jordan story ever told. We had to rearrange our top five again, Team Tommy. One thing before I list my top five again, one thing that I'm starting to hate is people that say like, "Oh, you didn't see so and so play. Oh, you didn't see this is that whatever. You didn't see da 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 in real time, bro. We have YouTube. We have actual like we have ways to go back and rewatch. Now, granted, we're not like so. If you were in the moment of when LeBron lost to Dirk in the finals and like you watched like how like he like low key like crumbled under the pressure, you would have a little bit more insight compared to like if somebody in 15 years goes and watches and they're like, oh, LeBron was just having bad games. No, it was a little bit more than him just having bad games. So like granted, I can't put myself into like I wasn't there at the time of when Michael Jordan was playing Larry Bird, and I wasn't there at the time of when Michael Jordan was like playing for the Bulls. But it ain't nothing to just go back and rewatch a game. It ain't nothing to just go back and look at the stats. Now, granted, stats wise is why I was low key putting Larry Bird number one. But like after like rewatching it again, if I'm watching like highlights, if I'm watching impact, I mean I'm low key, bro. And I really don't want to, but I have to go Michael Jordan number one, Larry Bird number two. I guess we're gonna have to put LeBron number three. There's a couple of you that don't agree that LeBron's number three, but you're gonna have to tell me how Kobe's better than LeBron. You're gonna have to tell me how somebody bro LeBron is better than Kareem, bro. LeBron is better than Kareem. Now, granted, bro, I can't lie. I feel like Dr. J gotta be somewhere in that top five. But we're gonna stick with the top three right now. Jordan, Bird, LeBron. But all right, enough yapping. Enough yapping from Tommy. Let's get into the video. Yo, if you guys need headphones, these headphones are actually spectacular. They give you so like I don't know if any of you guys have ever like produced or like ever done anything like that. I used to make music, but I don't anymore. But like if they let's say you have like levels and stuff like that, like even with microphones, it's the same thing. So well, I guess microphones are low key different. Microphones, it kind of goes on like a like if you're looking at an EQ curve. Okay, let me do it this way because this is the way it's like facing. If you're looking at an EQ curve, it looks like you want your curve to be like this, like the way that my hands are. That's how you get like some of like the best like sound from your mic. Now, granted, a lot of mics might be like this. Some mics might I can't really curve my arms. Some mics might be like this, and then that's when they're kind of bad. But like for a recording mic, you want it to look like this, like for when like your mic's frequency like chart type shit. But what was I talking about? Oh, these headphones. So like on a different like thing, these like give you bass sound. So like it doesn't increase anything. These are the most leveled headphones, like without any type of like. I feel like you guys know what I'm talking about, bro. It gives you the most bass level, like of any sound, if that makes any sense. It is what it is. That's besides like it's not even about the video.
NBA Hall of Famer
Is
James
this loud
Worthy,
enough?
who played against both Michael Jordan and Larry Bird, said, I'd much rather play against Michael Jordan than Larry Bird. Jordan made you look slow, but Bird made you look stupid.
Really?
Look,
I've seen
I'm
Michael
not
make
here
people
to
look stupid.
convince you that Larry Bird is better than Michael Jordan. I'll just present to you the facts and let the NBA legends who actually played against both of them tell you what they think
People always ask me who's the hardest player I've ever had to guard. And there was Michael Jordan, George Gervin, the late great Mike Mitchell.
I don't know who
so
George
many
Gervin
players.
is.
I always say Larry Bird. And I say this for the reason because when Michael passed the basketball, he kind of hung on his shorts and he sit off to the side. With Larry, when he passed the basketball is when he became more dangerous. He was either setting a pick, coming off a pick, catching the ball, passing the ball. So he was the one you always had to stay attentive to the whole 24 seconds of that offensive play for the Celtics. And you know what? Oh, he's going to get an offensive rebound. He was going to do something to help his team have the best chance of scoring at that point. So I always say as him, he didn't need the basketball to affect the game.
To the untrained eye, Michael Jordan was light years better than Larry Bird simply because his scoring numbers were better. But in actuality, it was much closer than that because Bird affected the game in so many ways.
Bro, he faked me out to the camera.
Larry Bird. One night in Phoenix, they were losing big time at the half. And they come out in the third quarter, and Larry did not take a shot, but dominated the game. He had 7 assists in the third quarter, and they came back and won the game. He could affect the game without taking a shot. Who else can you say that about to that degree? Nobody. Michael could never do that. Never. Michael had to have the ball.
Here's a 1986 magazine on the NBA. And remember, this is a league with Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Charles Barkley, Isaiah Thomas, Hakeem Olajuwon, Moses Malone, and Dr. J. And in a league with all of these all-time great players, everyone agreed that Larry Bird was the best because in 1984, 1985, and 1986, Larry Bird won MVP back to back to back.
Damn.
In the 1986 playoffs, Larry Bird finally faced Michael Jordan head to head. And in game 1, Michael dropped a spectacular 49 points. But Larry Bird had an all-around game with 30 points, 8 assists, 6 rebounds, and 3 steals to lead the Celtics to a victory. By
All right,
game 2,
I know Michael had
MJ
at least
had a
1 assist and 1
revelation.
rebound. You only listed his points.
Of the best of 5 first-round action, and the Celtics will try to
We got to be objective here, it seems, Tommy. I think that's the word.
Play a complete basketball game. I don't think one man can beat the Boston Celtics. I don't think one man can beat the Boston Celtics.
This is him very young.
He sure did try.
His team was trash, I'm pretty
Because
sure.
Jordan turned on God mode and broke the record for the most points ever scored in a playoff game.
lead in the first half of the game against the Celtics Thursday. Jordan trying to fake Bird, can't do it. Hits the jumper, but I think
Damn.
Bird played pretty well defensively against Jordan.
I know we started Dennis Johnson out on him, and then we went with Danny Ainge, myself, then Bill Walton, and we was trying to run him to help all the time, but he had his outside shot going so well that he really didn't need to penetrate that much.
Jordan,
Damn.
56 for Jordan.
Wow, his shot is
And that
smooth.
ties the Chicago Bulls all-time leader. Jordan with 8 on the clock. Jordan ties the game.
Oh, boy.
63 points, and you're looking at an all-time record.
Oh, boy.
Michael Jordan.
But it was an incredible playoff performance.
60
I've never seen it before.
63, 5, and
I
6.
didn't
Come
ever
on,
seen
bro.
it after. That wasn't Michael Jordan out there. It was God disguised as Michael Jordan.
But Larry Bird
Bro,
left
yeah, hold on.
the most
No.
important
Before we
statistic of all,
before we keep this
the
going, bro.
W.
All right, didn't want to pause. I'll try to hit space. Bro, you cannot say something like that and then be the GOAT. I swear you can't. You can't, bro. You cannot say something. Dude, 1, this is blasphemy. 2, bro, you can't say something like this
But
and be
Larry
number 1, bro.
Bird
I don't
left
care. I don't
the
care.
most
I don't care.
important statistic of all, the W.
10 on the clock.
Oh, they didn't want to, bro. It is what it is. Y'all heard what he said.
Pick and roll parry. Victory for the Boston Celtics to take a 2-0 lead over Chicago in their best of 5.
All right, who's winning though? That Celtics team or
Larry Bird.
95,
You showed
96
Michael Jordan ball between his legs one time in
Bulls.
the highlights, against Larry Bird, and that was the game he got 63.
That's when he dropped 63 on Bird. Yes. Yeah,
But
that's
if
when he got
memory
66.
serves me correct, they got
He lost.
swept. No, not lost. They got
Yes.
swept. Okay.
He says they though.
Even though he dropped 63,
They.
we stepped all in his ass, did we not? I rest my case.
Larry Bird went on to win his third championship.
That was kind of
that year.
disrespectful.
And the
You gonna let him
following
say that,
year,
MJ?
when Larry faced MJ in the playoffs, it happened again.
Side. Larry Bird against Banks, rubs him around a Perry screen, drives it down the lane, and lays it in.
This is the following year?
Michael Jordan with 30 points in this game, so he was 30 or better in all 3 playoff games. Bird's got 31 in the game and 14 in the fourth quarter. Bullseye.
Damn.
Boston has kept it in good hands in the fourth quarter.
Oh, is he bleeding?
Bird, and that's about it.
Are those scratches?
Final score in Chicago Stadium. The Boston Celtics sweep the Bulls out 105.
No, I'm sorry, Team Tommy. I gotta go look at this again. Bro.
That's about it. Final score in Chicago and 14 in the fourth quarter. Bullseye.
Bro, is that blood? Are these scratches?
Boston is
Bro, do you guys see this?
kept it in good hands in the fourth quarter. It's been Bird, and that's about it. Final score in Chicago.
Yo, I mean, it looks like he got attacked by a
The
T-Rex.
Boston Celtics sweep the Bulls out 105-94. Too much Celtic talent, too much Celtic experience for a Bulls team lacking in both areas.
Okay, so I mean, you hear something like that. They're talking about their teams. They're not saying Michael Jordan wasn't enough. They're not saying But you guys heard him, bro. You saying the teams don't compare. So I mean, if Larry Bird has a way better team, I mean, bro, this is a team game, bro. You really can't have just one person. Luka Doncic for a while, he was by himself on the Mavs. He has not won NBA Finals just by himself. But you have to have a good team to be able to win in the playoffs and win a final. So like, it's a cool argument to be like, Larry Bird was doing stuff without the ball, and he was also doing stuff like he was winning with his team. But if we're going GOAT for GOAT, I feel like a GOAT is like who's more dangerous with the ball in their hands. I kind of feel like. Now, granted, you can make an argument best all-round player, but even I mean, they're acting like Michael didn't play any defense. Did Bird ever win a? This is an actual question. Like I'm trying to be objective here. I'm trying to figure out who my GOAT is. Team Tommy, did Bird win a Defensive Player of the Year? Because I mean, Michael's won MVP, and he's been scoring leader.
Bird in back-to-back years swept Michael Jordan.
Dude, I think that's blood, bro.
So if Michael Jordan is the greatest of all time, but Michael Jordan never beat Larry Bird, then what does that make Larry Bird? Now, to be fair, at that
Dude, those look like scratches.
Michael Jordan didn't have his best teammate ever, Scottie Pippen, yet. When Scottie Pippen arrived, the battles were closer and more intense. And later in the video, I'll let you see exactly what happened when Larry Bird faced a prime Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. Because Larry Bird did something so miraculously impressive, no other man in the history of basketball can say they've done. But after Bird swept Jordan back-to-back years in the playoffs, that very next year in 1988, Michael Jordan had statistically the best season ever, where he won the scoring title at 35 points per game, the steals title, the MVP, the Defensive Player of the Year, the All-Star Game MVP, and the dunk contest.
Damn.
He faced Larry Bird 4 times that year, and this is how it went. Game 1, tough battle, Bird wins. Game
Low
2,
key.
MJ has a historic.
Hold on, let's pause it. Damn, bro. Michael won that game. Michael won that game. Bro had 5 more rebounds, but wow, holy moly, bro. These stat lines are kind of crazy.
50-point game to win by 10. Game 3, Larry's revenge. After that previous loss, I'm sure Larry Bird had that rematch circled
show
on his
us.
calendar because he
Larry Loki got it, that one, on the very lowest of keys. I mean, it's a 7-point differential. I mean, he got more rebounds too and assists. Okay,
ended
okay.
up with
Loki.
33, 8,
Loki.
and 7
Loki.
and blew MJ out by 30 points.
Oh, hold on. I wasn't even looking at the scores. My bad, Team Tommy. All right. The scores over here. I was looking over here. I mean, they didn't really lose by that much. Bro, I don't know if you give this one to Larry Bird. They won the game. There's 5 rebounds and 2 assists outdo the points in the steals and blocks. And he played. I don't know about that one. I don't know about that
Tough
one.
battle.
I don't know about that one.
Bird wins.
I don't know.
Game
That's
2.
game 1's debatable.
MJ has
Game
a
1's debatable.
Historic 50-point game to win by 10.
This one's out of for sure,
Game
Michael.
3, Larry's revenge. After that previous loss, I'm sure Larry Bird had that rematch circled on his calendar because he.
Damn. All right, they lost by 30. Yeah, you got to give that one to Bird. You got to give that one to Bird.
7 and blew MJ out by 30 points. Game 4.
Bird Loki got that one. More points, rebounds. I mean, Michael had more assists, steals, but like, yeah, that 44 and 10 is just so above 39, 3 and 8.
MJ had an impressive performance with 39 points and 8 assists, but Larry Legend had 44 points and 10 rebounds. But most importantly,
I think that was 2-1. Larry won 2-1.
Michael Jordan.
Well, we're not counting that game 1. The game 1 was low-key a tie.
Season ever. And though Michael Jordan didn't face Bird again that year in the playoffs, Jordan did face Isaiah Thomas and the Detroit Pistons. And I'll let Isaiah Thomas tell you exactly how he recalls that year and the rest of the 80s.
So Michael Jordan in the 80s, the best year that he had was he was the MVP of the league and the defensive player of the year. I believe that was in 88.
Yes.
That's why he say that's the best he had like that. But I can't lie, bro. When I used to be a LeBron fan, this was one of my go-to. Him and Nick Wright. He was one of my go-to people to like talk crazy about Michael Jordan because he's a prime Michael Jordan hater, bro. He's a hater. So like using him for the argument, I guess you slightly could, but like, bro, this dude is a prime hater, bro. Like he hates on Michael for sport, bro. He hates on. I think he wanted to be MJ, and he didn't get the recognition that he felt he deserves. So like he takes that out on Michael Jordan, but Isaiah Thomas, bro, is a super hater, bro.
He was the MVP of the league and the defensive player of the year. I believe that was in 88.
Yes.
We beat them 4-1. I'm gonna say that again. 4-1. They won one
May I
game,
respond?
Stephen A. And he never beat Larry Bird.
But they were. I mean, I'm not about to just say they were cheating, but like the way that they would hit him while he was going up, it's kind of BS.
80s, what I remember in the 80s, it was Philadelphia with Dr. J, Magic, Kareem, Bert, Michael Jordan. He was a non-factor.
A non-factor.
Come on, bro.
Is this your goat?
Come on, bro. I don't know about that.
But after Isaiah Thomas swept MJ, he did go on to beat Larry Bird in 6 games. And many people touted the Detroit defense for holding Larry Bird to under 20 points per game. But what many don't
Bro, I feel like that's not about Michael Jordan. That's about the teams.
Bird was noticeably injured with painful bone spurs in both feet. So only because of injuries, for the first time in 5 seasons, Larry Bird would not make the NBA Finals. Starting the following year,
So they both
Larry
lost to the same
Bird
team.
had
That's not like
season-ending
a.
surgery on both feet after playing only 6
It's
games.
not a good argument.
But sadly, it only got worse because that following offseason, Larry Bird broke his back and was never the same again. But even as Larry Bird's entire body betrayed him, for some reason, he always played well against Michael Jordan, almost like he had a personal vendetta against Jordan. And I think I know why. When Michael Jordan was in college, he actually played an exhibition game against Larry Bird. Jordan and a bunch of college players, while preparing for the 1984 Olympics, faced Larry Bird and a bunch of NBA stars. The goal was to toughen the college kids up before they headed to the Olympics. So during pregame warm-ups, when Jordan chased the loose ball to the other end of the court,
6'5", okay,
Larry Bird picked the ball up. But instead of handing it to Jordan, Bird kicked the ball over Jordan's head to the opposite end of the court. And I guess you could say Michael Jordan took that personally.
Now look at Mossy. Really? Oh, so that's how you're going to play it. You going to do this? Okay, fine. That's all I needed. That's all I needed for him to do that. And it became personal with me.
Michael Jordan dominated that game. A young Michael Jordan actually carried a team full of college players past a prime Larry Bird and a bunch of NBA players. Michael Jordan won the battle, but Larry Bird won the war. I think Larry Bird took that loss personally because Jordan never really got the best of Larry Bird ever again. When Larry Bird finally returned to the court after missing basically an entire season with foot surgery and a back injury, he faced prime Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen in a regular season game. The teams went back and forth.
Bagley against Paxson, 10 on the shot clock. Jordan on Bird. Quick feed into Jim Paxson for the layup. Larry Bird has KO the read. Jordan the steal. Scottie Pippen ahead to Jordan. Michael for the dunk. Bird against Pippen. Bird working on Pippen one-on-one. Hits the fadeaway.
And with 10 seconds to go, it was a tie game. The Celtics had the ball, and the Bulls put their two best defenders, Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen, both on Larry Bird because everyone knows who the ball is going to. And then this happened.
Let's see if they wind it all the way down. Inside Bird of 10 low, seconds. Bird low. You can't double yet. Now you can quickly. Bird's jumper, good.
Damn.
3.6 seconds left. Larry Bird gives the Boston Celtics a 2-point lead.
Everybody in this building had to know it was going, and Michael came over to help out.
I was about to say, did Michael just go try to block that?
3.6 seconds here, 102 to 100.
A game-winning shot while being double-teamed by both Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen, two of the best defenders of all time. Somehow the word clutch doesn't even begin to describe the greatness of Larry Bird when the game was on the line. But maybe a quote from NBA Hall of Fame coach, executive, and former player Pat Riley can explain. In an interview, when comparing Larry Bird and Michael Jordan's clutchness, Pat Riley said this iconic quote, "If I had to choose a player to take a shot to save a game, I'd choose Michael Jordan. If I had to choose a player to take a shot to save my life, I'd take Larry Bird." As Larry Bird was on his last
How does that make
legs
sense?
and Michael Jordan was starting his dynasty in 1991, Larry Bird mustered up enough strength to battle MJ again in one of the last great duels between the two.
Gamble came up with the steal.
Here's Bird. Yes. He was met on a switch by Jordan, and there
69, Chicago 67. Jordan eluding a triple team.
Damn.
Reggie Lewis. Larry Bird.
This battle between two all-time greats came down to the wire. In overtime, it was a tie game with 0.4 seconds on the clock, and the Chicago Bulls had the ball.
Pippen now will look to throw in. 0.4 of a second. And here it is, Jordan with the fling. Yes! But it's waved off. Will not count. Mike Mathis said no. Did not beat the clock.
Ooh,
Really?
He almost had it. After Jordan's possible game winner was waved off, Larry Bird, on 4 straight possessions in double overtime, did this.
Jordan.
It's great to hear all these coaches talk about they're really concerned as Bird hits a little fadeaway. They're really concerned about the minutes building up. They want to be fresh going into the playoffs until the game.
Overtime number 2. Bird. Yes. Larry Bird heating it up. To go in the second overtime. Bird with the fake through the foul and hits. Bird 45 to go in the second overtime. Bird fires. Yes.
The crowd couldn't help but chant the name of the greatest player of all time.
Shook his head and said, "This guy's too much."
And the chant of Larry.
But I mean, it's home court.
The second overtime, and that will do it. The Boston Celtics in double overtime and defeated the Chicago Bulls 135 to 132 in the wild one.
The Celtics held on to win that game, but that year, Michael Jordan won his first championship versus Magic Johnson in the finals, and his dynasty had officially begun.
Larry and I were talking, and Michael walks in, and he says, "There's a new sheriff in town." And we both hit each other like, well, he's not lying.
Larry Bird retired after that next season, but not before he took the court with Michael Jordan one last time. Except this time, it would be on the same team in what many would call the greatest team ever assembled, the 1992 Dream Team.
And rebounded by Jordan.
Perez may have realized that may be his best opportunity to get an open look in transition.
Magic with the pass that misfired. Jordan with the behind the back save. Here's Bird. Yes.
And you just knew that Larry Bird was not going to miss that shot after the great save by Michael Jordan.
Larry, I hear that you're retiring. Thank goodness. I'm glad. I'm tired of seeing your face. Well, a lot of sad memories to me, but I enjoyed you tremendously. I wish you a lot of luck, and I think you had a very wonderful career, even though you probably ruined a lot of my successful games against the Boston Celtics. And I'll see you somewhere along the road, somewhere playing golf.
Even though he dropped 63, we stepped all in his ass, did we not? I rest my case.
I can see why people would say 1A, 1B now. But I feel like a lot of these arguments just come down to team. Like, I feel like this was a team thing, not... I mean, the end was more Larry versus Michael. But I feel like this was majority Bulls versus Celtics. Yeah, I'm keeping my same top 5 as of right now. Well, let me know your team. Let me know your top 5, Team Tom. One piece of chicken grease.